think when you say like we can't win it, we actually can. We can win a game and get into the next round of the US Open Cup. I really loved this competition last year. I think we had some, we played Tormenta in Miami, which was a really tough game. I think it took us to the 83rd minute. Maybe Leo scored late on. We had to bring on DeAndre McVeigh, Robbie Robinson had to come on. Motta came on in that game. You know what I mean? So we know it's going to be a tough game. I've watched a lot. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Anthony. I'm a close friend of him. He worked here. He knows a lot about us. We know a lot about them. It's going to be a tough game on a difficult surface that we know it's that cup feeling. I think we spoke last season about these games have a different feeling. There's a bit more of an edge, there's a nervousness, there's a win at all cost type mentality, and it's a game that we're really excited for. It's a game where everybody wants to play. I told them after the game on Saturday that there's a little bit of a myth in football now that players can't play 3 games in a week. Well, I told them that if you train on Monday, then you're fit for selection, and if you have to go again on Wednesday and Saturday, then that's what you have to do. We're putting out our strongest lineup as we can, and it's a competition we want to do well in.
Yep. Sorry.
Well, I mean, we have got some players that deserve to start this game as well. It didn't start against Houston, so we've got to balance. We've got to balance those that deserve to play and those that probably are not quite ready to play after Saturday's travel and game and emotion. So we're going to look at them in training today. We didn't get back till 4 or 5 o'clock because of the central time, and we lost an hour. So yesterday was all about recovery. We give them an extra little couple of hours in bed, which meant that we trained in the afternoon. So that's what the players needed. It's all about recovery this week. We're doing the same later in the week as well, because three away games is tough, particularly when you fly into to 2 different ones. But we are fresh, we're hungry, we're a team that's on a bad run, that's actually got the feeling of a team that feels confident at this moment in time. We just need to keep believing in ourselves. We need to keep thinking that this will turn, and it does. Football works in mysterious ways. You think about the amount of chances we had on Saturday, the times it hit the post, it ricocheted out, the saves that the keeper made that on any other day would have gone in. We've got to keep believing that they'll go in, and that was my frustration on Saturday. Was I felt on Saturday we were so close to winning a game 2-3-0, not just scraping through, and I want to see that kind of determination with a little bit more ruthlessness. I think we need to look at Leo, but Leo wants to play in every minute. He feels as if he's missed too much already. So, and he's 22. He's 22, playing 3 games in a week for a 22-year-old. You'd say less if it was a Gonzalo type player playing 3 games in a week, 1 on turf as well. It's different, but we have to look at our players today. It's the first time that they've probably trained since Saturday fully, extensively, and we'll see how they are. Yeah. And we've got 3 strikers that all want to play: Borgelin, Joseph, and Lynn. And the striker that we feel is best suited for the game we're playing.
No same concern with Joseph all those years on turf, the ACL.
Yeah. A little bit. I'd say that the quality of the turf is a little bit of concern for Joseph. He's trained every single day. He's not missed a day's training, and we want to keep it that way. So that is a consideration, the surface, as it is for Leo as well. But I think the game is more important. The game is important for the team. The game is important for this football club, and we're putting out one of our strongest teams.
That level of turnover has been.
Well, I felt as if we needed to upgrade probably 3 or 4 starters in terms of sort of like where we wanted to get to. The return of Rodolfo and the leaving of Pizarro was not in our control really, and then obviously we got the trade yesterday from Toronto. Ame was my first ever signing. I landed in the US. 2 days later, I was sat over there in a draft selection that just blew my mind. 2 days into the country, suffering from jet lag. So Ame was the first player I spoke to. We obviously interviewed the draft picks beforehand. So yesterday was a really emotional day. That I think was a sensible decision. We got really good money. Ame wants to play. He was frustrated about the opportunities that came his way. We've got Ian Frey now back in full training. Sergi Kamal has obviously been added to the centre back. So I think that was a sort of like a no-brainer, and it was for both parties really. The Bryce Duke one obviously was too good a deal to turn down. And because we'd brought Sergi in, we wanted to upgrade in terms of Damien Lowe there. So did we plan that many changes? Probably not, but circumstances meant that we got some really good offers for some of our players that we couldn't turn down, and we felt that the changes that we've made have improved us, and we're happy with where we're at.
How has been
Well, it depends who you ask. If you ask the physios or Ian, it's two different answers. You've probably got 3 weeks difference between them. Ian wants to be involved tomorrow night. He's been in non-contact training, as you've seen, for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And you know, it got to the point last week where we had to put a yellow bib on him, you know, like your Tour de France leader, because he was literally charging into every tackle, and we're saying, look, calm down, and we have to just keep the lead on him a little bit. But the boy's close.
How does he look?
He looks sensational. He literally looks sensational. I try and keep my feet on the ground because, you know, you think about the start of last pre-season, he would have started the season in our starting 11, and then, but we've got to make sure that he's recovering from 2 ACLs, and we need to take our time. So, you know, I'm probably gonna err on the side of caution, say that it's going to be another month before we see him. He's probably going to be playing little scrimmages, 20 minutes here, 15 minutes there. But knowing him, knowing the way he trains, I'd say that probably Columbus for the MLS2 on Sunday, or the week after for the MLS2, he'll be banging at our door saying I'm ready to play. But I think everyone understands that this has been a long journey back for him, and he's missed 2 years of football. And they say it takes just as long to get back. The kid is just a machine, and his biggest quality is that he's fearless. He's not stepping onto that pitch with any thought in his mind that the last time he was on a football pitch he did his ACL again. So great kid, we're happy to have him back, and when he's back to full fitness, he'll be challenging for a starting position, I'm sure. It was a real brutal game last year. You know, Drake made some really good saves in the second half. We had to really strengthen and change the game. Bearing in mind we just travelled back from Seattle, I think 24 or 48 hours before that. So the thing I remember from the game was how slow the pitch was, and the fact that they were so well drilled, so well organised. They've got experienced players, and that we're going to have to be at our best. If our attitude's not right, if our concentration's not right, we won't win the game. And that's what it's like. It's an FA Cup, US Open Cup type of game where, you know, where if your attitude's not right, you get embarrassed, and we do not want to be embarrassed.
You've scrimmaged them a couple times already in preseason and stuff. What did you learn from that you can apply to?
It's going to be a tough game. You know, we played sort of like our second string that needed minutes earlier against them earlier in the season. It was a really good game. Later in the game, we obviously put the kids on, and they got some joy in the game. I always feel as if they've got players that are really, you know, really MLS type level players with good experience, and you know, Ant's a really good coach. He's got really top level experience, and he knows how to set a team up. And you know, like I say, they're the underdog. It's David versus Goliath. They've got nothing to lose. But I think the focus has got to be on us, about our level of performances and about our standards. I think at the start of the season, this is a competition that I said that we wanted to win. You know, we've added really good depth to the roster. You know, people like Ryan Saylor's not had a minute yet. Playing the first game, maybe the second game against Philadelphia, he came on. Chris McVeigh played on Saturday. Harvey's been doing really well, deserves a start. So we've got players that probably deserve minutes. But you know, I'm a big believer in consistency, and you know, those players that deserve to start will start. And we've got to make sure that we you know, I think Kamal just said it then. Kamal's only trained with us twice. So he needs consistency. You know, he needs to learn how to be a Miami player. Miami player. Dixon's the same. So we're juggling all those things and trying to get some consistency. So you know, we're going to go strong. We're going to go with players that are used to playing in these types of competitions, that can handle these types of competitions. They've got the experience to compete, and they've got the quality to win the game.